everybody. Hello there. Carson Meredith with you just after 2:30 on Easter Saturday. Hope you've had a good day so far. Unfortunately, we did have to flag a short fused alert day today as the risk for a few stronger storms, one, decided to linger into this afternoon, but also because we saw that upgrade in some parts of the region to a slight risk for severe storms. And that remains in place here this afternoon. So we're going to show you where things stand now and where we're heading for the rest of today. Let's show you radar at this moment. There's still not a lot going on. That's been the case for most of you most of the day. If you've been down in central southern Kentucky, you have not seen much of anything today. Well, really, along the Ohio River as well. Here in Louisville, we haven't seen anything. Up into LaGrange, Bedford, Kentucky, Carrollton, not a drop. But we did have that round of storms roll through late morning around 10, 11 o'clock in our far northern counties in wave country. So up in Lawrence, Jackson, and Jennings had a quick little cluster of storms that had some gusty winds, a lot of lightning as well, but it was not severe. And to be quite honest with you, that was really our only severe concern going into today. When I came into work 12 hours ago, that was really the only thing I was worried about when it came to severe storm potential. And nothing happened really, in our area at least. But as the morning went along, we started to see a cluster of storms develop out in Missouri and Arkansas along the stalled frontal boundary. And then the models picked up on it and said, hey, these storms might pack a little punch this afternoon by the time they get to your area. And by golly, that's the case, unfortunately. Let's scoot things over to the west. Actually, before we do that, I'll show you the slight risk zone. It's the same area we've been talking about for a few days now. Our southern Indiana counties, basically along I-64 points north, so most of southern Indiana. And you notice that slight risk does include Trimble County and Carroll County. So that's kind of why I've adjusted the wording to not just be exclusively for southern Indiana, but when we're looking at that risk for stronger storms this afternoon, we're talking along Interstate 64, including Louisville, northward. Basically, if you split the region in half, the northern half is going to have to watch for a few severe storms potentially over the next 3 to 4 hours or so. All right. So let's scoot things off to the west. Here is the troublemaker in question, okay? Let's see. Nothing severe. Nothing severe right now. Certainly some heavy rain, a little bit of lightning. Crossing the Wabash River, moving into southwest Indiana. So Evansville is going to be seeing some thunderstorms here at about 30 minutes. Maybe shorter than that, more like 15 to 20 minutes. Up towards Vincennes, heavy rain is coming down. Even in our far western counties. Du Bois County, Spencer County, Indiana. Not in our area, just outside of it, but out near Holiday World, seeing a few downpours popping up. If we're going to see any severe weather this afternoon, it is going to be from this guy. Okay? Now, while it's behaving for the time being, what concerns me is in our area, by and large, we haven't seen much of anything today. We've had a good bit of cloud cover, yes, but we've seen a bit of clearing over the last couple of hours. You guys know what clearing skies on a stormy day does. It ramps up the instability, gives us enough fuel for storms, and gives us that chance for possibly a few stronger storms. So that's kind of why we flagged the alert day, a very short one. By the time we come back for our newscast at 6 o'clock, we may not have that alert day anymore. That's how quick this cluster of storms is going to roll through potentially in the next 3 or 4 hours. So these storms are moving at a very, very fast rate. They've been moving all day, upwards of 50, 60 miles per hour. So you kind of tell where that main zone, if you will, the stronger storms, is basically going to go along the Ohio River, along Interstate 64 and points northward. So I still think if you're down in Mumfordville, Greensburg, Campbellsville, Columbia, you may not see much of anything today. Maybe a quick shower or maybe even a downpour. That's it, if anything, in our far southern counties. So the main focus continues to be southern Indiana, areas along I-64. And again, we'll see how these storms behave in the next couple of hours. I think as they push east, they will try to ramp up a little bit because we haven't had a ton of storms in our area today. So there's a little more untapped instability that it can work with as it pushes east. You go out further to the west, they've had a couple rounds of storms already today, and there's been a lot of cloud cover, even more than we've had. So that's where things stand at this time. To the comments we go. Let's see here. Let's see. AJB voice actor on X says, keep the rain away from us. Our church has an outdoor service today at 5. Oh boy, that's going to be a close call, my friend. If your sanctuary or your church is in the metro in Louisville, there could be some storms around there, around the metro during that time. So keep an eye to the Wave Weather app. Hopefully you have that downloaded on your phone. Hopefully your congregation has that app on their phone as well, and they can maybe have a lightning notification set. So if those storms hold on and move into the metro around 5 o'clock, might have to move that service inside, unfortunately. Fingers crossed we won't have to do that. Nikki on YouTube is a huge fan of this Taste of Summer. Yeah, my gosh. I stepped out into the parking lot a little while ago, a couple hours ago, and it felt like a June afternoon. I'm not a fan of it, but Nikki, if you're a fan of it, soak it up. Enjoy it. Let's see. Scott says, hope you're having a good Easter Eve. I am. Thank you, even though it's been a long day. It's so windy out. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. And that's why damaging winds is the main concern today. There's a lot of wind energy just kind of pushing these storms through. So that's why we have to watch for some 60-mile-per-hour gusts potentially as they roll through here. Gary's watching us up in Pee Wee Valley. Hope all is well. Hardensburg, cloudy there. Okay, that's good. We want more clouds today. Ashley, do you sleep on the weekends at all? No, not really. I try to get naps when I can, but I haven't been able to get that nap today because I've been watching the storms, obviously, but some of our computers this morning have been misbehaving. Otherwise I would have done a live stream with you guys earlier, but had a little trouble. Shout out to our engineering and IT guys for getting things back on track. We appreciate it. Shonda says, I can't get much sleep. No, I don't. Usually if it's a quiet weekend, I get about 2 hours on Saturday, midday, in between shifts. And then Saturday nights, I get about 4 hours. I sleep at the station. And then Sunday, in between shows, I get another 2 hours. So in theory, it adds up to 8 hours, but I mean, it is kind of broken up. So nonetheless, Dale has a good question. So the cap that Be Good was talking about yesterday, is it holding firm? So far, yes. Now the question is going to be, how long can it hold on? I will say there's been a little more sunshine today than I expected. And I think that's part of the reason why the Storm Prediction Center upped that severe weather risk. There's been a lot more dry time, especially in southern Indiana. We had those storms this morning, but they moved through pretty quick. So we've had a little more time to recover a little bit. And it's not going to take much instability to cause severe storms today because of the fact that we have so much wind energy aloft above our heads. So for now, the cap is holding. The question is, will it hold as this little cluster of storms rolls east? If it does, we're fine. Severe-wise, there'll be some thunderstorms, but they won't be severe. If that cap breaks a little bit, allows these storms to ramp up a bit, then we could have some problems. So good question, Dale. Very, very good question. Margaret says, thanks for the update. Watching down in Marion County. Yeah, Margaret, you're likely going to stay pretty dry today, if not totally dry. Maybe a quick little shower around 6 o'clock. That's it, if anything, down for you folks in Marion County. But we appreciate you watching nonetheless. All right, so we'll get back to more comments in a moment. I want to keep the show on the road. I'll show you the big picture of this cold front. And let me add the surface map so you can't see where the front is. I mean, it's pretty obvious, right? It stretches way, way, way up in Canada, down into western New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, and it goes right through southern Indiana, down in southern Missouri, near Branson, Springfield, Joplin, all the way down into Oklahoma and Texas. Now, this front is still expected to stall out nearby as we go through this evening and overnight tonight. We will see that storm coverage fade throughout the evening. And all we'll be tracking tonight, overnight, will be some showers once again in southern Indiana. Those showers will lift north on Easter Sunday morning. So there could be a few showers in southern Indiana Sunday morning. But most of the day, once those showers do lift out of our area, most of Easter Sunday looks very, very warm. Yes, warmer than today. And mostly dry. So it's a very unique setup. We've had these before where the fronts stall out and, you know, you kind of have these waves on again, off again storms, some severe, some not. A lot of times, I mean, just go back to 2 weeks ago. A lot of times when you got these stalled fronts, you have significant flooding. But this system is not nearly as potent as what we had a couple weeks ago. And there's not as much moisture with it. Both of those are kind of helping us out this weekend. But with that front still nearby, we keep the storm chances around through about 6 or 7 p.m. And then we'll watch for a few showers overnight tonight and to start off your Easter Sunday, especially in southern Indiana. If you're in southern Indiana, you've got a better shot for storms this afternoon and a better shot for showers tomorrow morning. Everybody else, the chances are lower. So as far as the alert day, we'll keep it in place until 6 o'clock. There's some forecast models that want to keep some storms around past that time. Let's say 7, maybe 8. I'm not sold on that because we've been running ahead of schedule with these storms for much of the day today. So I think these storms are going to be moving fast enough to where most of the severe threat is done in 3 hours by 6 p.m. Main issue will be along and north of Interstate 64. So Louisville, north. You live north of Louisville, pay attention over the next 3 hours, okay? Wind and hail are the main issues. Now, when we're looking at the hail threat, I think the bigger concern will be smaller hail, like peas or marble size. That's all I've seen so far today across our region with those storms that moved through earlier this morning. The wind is going to be the main thing to watch. If we have any severe thunderstorm warnings in the next few hours, it's going to be mainly for the wind gust threat. The tornado threat is next to nothing. We have a lot of wind shear above our heads, a lot of speed with the wind, but we don't have turning of the wind. And that's good. That limits the tornado threat. I do not expect any tornadoes today. I'll go ahead and say that now. Hopefully I'm right on that part. Let's show you what's happening now in New Albany. Camera might have frozen up on us. Doggone it. These cameras have been a little fidgety today. But nonetheless, you could tell it has certainly been a windy day, and it is very, very warm. 80s our current temperature here in Louisville. We got up to 84 yesterday. Here we are at 80 again today. We're in the mid-80s for Easter Sunday. That wind gust last check at the airport around 24 miles an hour. And you could tell quite clearly where the rain-cooled air and the cold front rather is. Just to our north and west. So most of us are still in the 70s. 79 in Jeff, 75 in Madison, 78 in Bardstown. Lebanon, you're a hot spot at 81. So it is certainly a warm, I don't know what to compare it to. Maybe like Memorial Day weekend, kind of. Although Memorial Day weekend is usually a little more humid. But nonetheless, unusually warm for late April. So again, we've got the warm air in place. We've been able to ramp up that instability a little bit. The question's going to be, can we break through a little bit of a cap that's still in the atmosphere over us? Remember, a cap of warm air protecting us. Can those air parcels break through that cap and cause those storms to grow? Or will the cap stay nice and snug, keep things under control, and we just have some heavy downpours the next few hours? That's the million-dollar question. Right now, the cap is holding. Let's hope it continues to hold. Taking you through the next 12, you notice the red bars. That indicates the main time frame we're watching for that severe threat, now until about 6 o'clock. That's not to say that storms are totally gone by 6 o'clock. It might be closer to 8 before those storms are gone completely. But I think the severe threat is done by about 6 this evening. And of course, you can watch us on Wave News at 6. If we've had to adjust that timing, we'll let you know then, later on here in just a few hours, okay? And later on tonight, like we talked about, just a few showers, mainly in southern Indiana. No storm concerns. Overnight tonight, sleep well overnight tonight. But we'll still watch southern Indiana. I know you guys in Kentucky are probably tired of us talking about southern Indiana, but that's where the fun's been. That's where the action has been so far today, and that's where it looks like it's going to be throughout the evening tonight. Here we go, Futurecast. This is the high-resolution rapid refresh model, the HRRR. We like to call it the HRR. And you notice it's doing a nice job pinpointing where the storms are now, and it has a good idea of the structure of these storms as they push eastward. And you notice that those storms look a little gnarly as they move into our western counties here in the next hour or so. I would not be surprised at all if we start getting severe thunderstorm warnings by 4 o'clock in Du Bois County and maybe Perry County, Orange County, Lawrence County. These storms will keep on pushing east as we go through the late afternoon. Here in Louisville, we could see those storms in the 5 o'clock hour. So Louisville, 5 p.m. hour, 5 to 6 p.m. We'll be watching those storms move into the metro around that time. So in about 2 hours, okay? Heavy rain, quite a bit of lightning, and maybe some gusty winds. All right? But notice our southern counties, farther away from that front, not a darn thing. Staying nice and quiet. It looks like down in Lebanon and Campbellsville, Greensburg, Mumfordville, and Columbia. Warm, humid, good bit of instability, but because you're further away from that front, the odds of that cap holding on in southern Kentucky are pretty good. That's why the higher chances for storms are north of you. As we go through this evening, you notice by 7 p.m., like I talked about, these storms are moving quick. So absolutely no later than 7, we're done with these strong storms. I really think it's going to be by 6, personally. We get past 7 tonight, 6 or 7. Notice those showers do linger across southern Indiana near that front. Further to the south across the Commonwealth of Kentucky, the rain chances are low overnight tonight. But some showers will likely continue across southern Indiana overnight tonight. Here comes the 10-day earliest alert with the Derby theme, as we're now 2 weeks away. This is the latest forecast from this morning. I'm about to go update the forecast once I sign off here. So this is where things stand. As of this morning, there hasn't been a ton of changes, though. Easter Sunday looks very warm. Good bit of cloud cover tomorrow. Kind of like today, honestly, but very warm. 84 tomorrow afternoon. Don't cancel your Easter egg hunts or anything like that. If you can hold off on taking the family photos until after church or after lunch, that would be a really good idea because any of the showers we have in the morning will be gone by then. So take that as you will for any of your plans to celebrate the holiday tomorrow. Monday, we will be talking later on tonight. We'll do another live stream and we'll talk more about Monday's rain chances. That could cause trouble for the Monday morning commute. No severe threat, but it's Monday and it's going to be raining and we're all going back to work and school. So that's a recipe for some kind of mischief. So we'll talk more about Monday's setup later on this evening. Tuesday and Wednesday are fine. And we'll also talk more about next weekend because it does look like there will be problems. Not necessarily for severe weather, but just with rain and storm chances in general as we head towards next weekend. And that might cause trouble for the balloon events. The marathon might be a little damp. And we'll have to keep an eye on the Pegasus Parade as well as we really get into the peak of the Derby Festival this year. All right, more comments, a few more, and then we will wrap this thing up. And I'm sure a lot of you are going to ask about the timing at your house. I'm in a little time crunch. I can't go city by city here, but I'll pull up Futurecast and hopefully you can find a city nearby and that'll help you out, okay? Excuse me. Come on, there we go. Computers are running a little slow today, but it's the weekend. I don't blame them. Daniel's asking about the tornado threat in southern Indiana. Very, 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 very low. I'm talking 1% or less. Probably less than that, to be honest with you. This is not the kind of environment where we're looking at tornadoes. This is the environment where we would have straight line wind issues, not necessarily spinning wind / tornado issues. So very, 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 very slim tornado threat. Highly, highly unlikely this evening, or this afternoon, I should say. Sean is supposed to go out and have birthday with the grandsons. How's 5 p.m. looking? Well, Shonda, be careful. Don't cancel those plans. But around 5 o'clock, notice those storms are moving closer to I-65, closer to Jeffersonville. So it might be a good idea maybe to bump that up to like 4:45 if you can. It's only 15 minutes, but it might make a difference. So you're not having to run into the restaurant as you celebrate that birthday for those grandsons this evening. So don't cancel those plans. Just watch the skies. Just watch the skies. Beverly says, Happy Easter. You do a great job. Thank you for the kind words, Beverly. Happy Easter to you and yours as well. Let's see. Tanya's watching up in Salem. We appreciate you watching up there, Tanya. Nathan's asking about if there's going to be a severe thunderstorm watch for Louisville. That's actually a good question. Let me see if the Storm Prediction Center has anything yet. I don't think they do. No, they don't. So we're not looking at a severe thunderstorm watch for now, which is a good sign. But of course, if that changes, we'll let you know. And if you have the Wave Weather app, you'll get that alert instantly when that watch is issued, if it is issued. And that's not a guarantee. Let's see. Tammy's watching us up in Brownstown, Indiana. Or Tommy. I'm sorry, Tommy. I saw the O and I thought it was an A. My mistake. Brownstown had some wind and hail this morning. Yeah, that was with that first cluster of storms that rolled through. What was it, around 10:30, 11 o'clock? And again, like we said, we thought that was going to be the only storm cluster we'd have to worry about today when it came to a severe potential. But that hasn't been the case, unfortunately. But yeah, we appreciate that report, Tommy. Thanks for that. Kelly asks, is tomorrow night looking severe? No, it is not. You're referring to tomorrow night, really Monday morning. It's not much of an issue tomorrow night anymore. It's Monday morning. And there's no severe threat with that. No. The only issue would be rain causing problems for the morning drive. And because it's a Monday, none of us will be wanting to go to work or school on Monday morning. So that just might make things a little dicey on that morning drive on Monday. And again, we'll do another live stream tonight at the usual time, 7:15, 7:30. And we'll talk more about that setup then. Okay. I just wanted to give you a quick update here early in the afternoon about why we have the alert day and the storms that we're watching to our west. And I will say, looking over the last couple of radar scans, heavy rain for sure, but it's struggling. It is struggling to become more intense. And I'm not complaining about that. Don't get me wrong. Saves me trouble. But we'll keep an eye on it. That's our job. We'll keep an eye on it. A few more comments, and then I got to run, my friends. Oh yeah, Crispy, you were talking about picking up your friends last weekend, if I recall. Should I wait to drive back to Louisville? I don't think so. I think you'll be fine. Most of the storms are gone by. Most of the storms are clear of I-65 by 6 p.m. Now, you might run into some rain, just showers as you're heading back home, but nothing severe once you get past 6 o'clock along I-65. You should be good. Let's see. Nikki's asking about a flash flooding threat. No, I don't see one at all. These storms are moving very, very quickly, and they quite frankly don't have a ton of rain with them. Remember, we talked earlier. This system is very different from a couple weeks ago in the sense there's not nearly as much moisture as what we had during that horrible flooding 2 weeks ago. So we're good on the flooding issue. Let's see. John asking about Lexington, heading to Lexington for Tyler Childers. Ooh, I didn't realize he was at Kroger Field tonight. He's good. The storm threat is a little lower in Lexington. Now, I will say there's a small chance for lightning issues at Kroger Field early in the evening. So beware of that, John. But as far as the concert getting canceled or anything like that, I don't see it. I don't see it. Might just be delayed a wee bit, but shouldn't have any major issues tonight. Just watch out for some lightning early in the evening, around 7 o'clock, I'll say. And if there's no lightning around 7 o'clock, then should be fine for that concert in Lexington. A lot of you heading to the Tyler Childers concert. That's awesome. I did not realize he was over there tonight. Nathan's asking, so no tornado warnings today? Highly, highly, highly doubt it. Again, I think that chance is 1% or less. It's just not a good environment for tornadoes today. Let's see. Steve says, thank you. Happy Easter. Same to you all. Steve, we appreciate you tuning in. We appreciate everybody tuning in. Nikki, thanks for the update. Of course, that's what we're here for. Absolutely. We're glad to do it. Shonda says, are there any warnings for those storms out west? Not right now. Not right now. So, obviously I'm here. I'm here. I'm watching it like a hawk. And if there are any issues, we will let you know on the social media side of things. And of course, we'll have the warning scrolling at the bottom of the screen on television and on Wave Weather Now as well. John says they moved the concert up a half hour. I get that. I'm just a little worried that I'm worried now that they might have moved it up into the worst zone for Lexington to see some storms. But regardless, John, don't worry about anything being canceled. You got the right idea. Grab the poncho. If they say, hey, there's lightning, take cover. Just get under the concourse at Kroger Field for a half hour, 45 minutes, and it'll be all good. All right. So that's going to do it for now, guys. I'm going to run. Again, this is what we're going to be watching this afternoon. There are additional storms trying to fire up ahead of this main line, but if we're going to see anything severe, I think it's going to be with this. And quite frankly, it does not look impressive right now. So fingers crossed that trend holds. I do expect these storms to move into the metro within the 5 o'clock hour. And most, if not all, of these storms are gone in the 6 p.m. hour. So this is a very low-key alert day. It's not a, oh my gosh, it's a huge tornado outbreak day at all, not even close. It was just one of those decisions we kind of made where it's like, you know what? The risk for storms this afternoon has gone up. Warmest part of the day. They might pack a punch. Let's play it safe. That's all it is. Not to alarm you, not for the ratings, none of that. All right? Just give you guys a heads up on a busy holiday weekend that there's a chance for some storms to cause a little mischief later on. Quick look at the 10-day, and then I will wrap this up. You can catch me on Wave News at 6 this evening. We'll be tracking those storms, hopefully, as they are exiting the region by that point. And then I will be back here with my typical Wave Weather Now update around 7:15, 7:30 tonight. Okay? And that's when we'll talk more about Monday and next weekend as we get closer to some of those first major Derby Festival events about a week from now. All right, that's it for the time being, though. Appreciate you guys watching on the middle of the afternoon on a holiday weekend. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. I will see you on the television at 6 o'clock.